Hello guys, this is Julia. Welcome to my new video. Today is the chapter 2 of my home renovation journey series. So today, yes, finally we are going to talk about how I was fixing my bedroom flooring. And please remember, the whole of this series is just DIY everything. So there are things that turn out to be better, other things that turn out to be, well. So in this chapter, we are going to, first of all, empty the room. We are moving all the furniture out of the bedroom, except my bed and the built-in closet. It's obvious the reason why we want to move the closet out, right? And what about the bed? Well, it's huge. It's huge in terms of my apartment and in terms of what we here in this country, in this part of Europe, consider as big beds. It's not the biggest, but it's quite big. It's 160 wide. And I measured my bedroom, and my original plan, which is going to be during the first part of the video, was to move the bed to one side, very close to the built-in closet, and I would have enough place, more than 160. It would be like around 2 meters. For me to be able to work on the floor. And when that half, a little bit more than a half, would be done, I would move my bed to the other side and work on the other part of the room. This was the original plan. It would take me pretty much more time. So this is what you are going to see at the part of the video where we are sanding the floors. When it came to the varnishing it, I thought very thoroughly on the fact that I should do it in two different steps, and it was something like, oh no, I can't do it twice. Because there are times that you have to wait between coats. I will talk about it a little bit while we are watching the video. The case is that making it in two steps would mean hugely much more time. So finally, I talked about my idea with my main assistant in this renovation, which is my mom, and we took the bed out of the bedroom. Anyways, I wasn't using it since the moment I moved all the rest of the furniture out, because the room wasn't usable. It was full of dust and all the kind of stuff. The bed was protected, so it couldn't be used either way. Fortunately, I had that gorgeous couch, which has also 135 wide bed built in. It was a very, very comfortable bed to sleep. So I was sleeping in my living room during my bedroom renovation. So just to make the story a little bit shorter, because I always talk way too much, I know. We are going to see how I sand my floors, although I do not have the complete footage of that. We are going to see how we make the first primer coat, and then I also made 2 varnishing coats, although I would rather make 3 of them, but this is something that we will be talking about in not that far future. So without no hesitation, without no more talking, we are going to jump right into the video. Well, just a second before, just only if you are wondering what is wrong with my right eye. Dun, 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 dun. I will talk about it at the end of the video, so if you are really interested in knowing what happened to me, you can stay tuned till the end, and if you are not, it's okay, no hard feelings ever from my side. So the first step was to move out all the furniture that could be moved away, which was my dresser, all the stuff that was on my dresser, and also my bedside table. My bed, as I told you before, initially was thought to remain in my bedroom because I was going to do everything in 2 steps. And right now you are seeing me protecting my built-in closet because while you sand in the floor, it generates like a lot of dust, wooden dust, and it gets everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So I didn't want it to get it into my closet, and I patched all the holes and the possible ways to that dust to go in. And as I told you before, also my first assistant in this renovation process was my mom, but no, as you can see, this is my German Shepherd. He is absolutely the first assistant, and my mom was the second one. So he was there for the whole process. Of course, he was also the cause of all the destruction, but yeah, he was there to help me with everything and to support me throughout all the process. So, as I told you, provided that I decided not to move my bed out of the bedroom, I had to protect it with plastic, so it also didn't get dusted with all the wooden dust. And I also took the advantage of moving it in order to clean all the stuff was underneath it. And here you can already see me sanding the floor with the band sander. The first thing that I would like to make clear is that I didn't use any professional tools. I only used what's on hand of any particular people that live and make renovation, like DIY things in their house. And of course, you can see me protecting my eyes, protecting my mouth with FFP2 mask with Balbula, but you can see me with my socks stepping on the floor. And yeah, it's very, very important to protect your feet also. So just in a while you will see me wearing shoes which are more protective to the feet, much more than my socks are. So yeah, the sanding process is something that generates a lot of dust, and you have to clean it all the time. And the problem of the band sander is that it has a margin that it doesn't allow it to go very near to the border of the trim or the corners. So as you can see here on the second part of my work, right now I'm working with my manual multi-purpose Bosch sander. So it was I changed my strategy on that day. So what I was doing first is to sand all the borders. With this kind of sander you can get much more closer to a trim and make the corners much more well done. And once you have that done, you just use the band sander. Of course, the problem is that, and you can see how much dust it generates, is that the manual sander doesn't have enough power to really sand very deeply and to get out all of the previous varnishing coat that you would like to replace. And the band sander is much more powerful, so sometimes you can even see the difference between the places where you used your manual sander and the band sander. So you will see it in a while. And you might ask me, why do you have that black stuff, whatever, on your head? Actually, it's a t-shirt I used to put on my head. And the case is that I'm somebody who is sweating a lot while doing exercise, no matter the weight I have. Although on these images I've already had way too many kilos, way much more kilos that I should have. So despite of that, I can be all the small that I would like to be. When I do exercise, I sweat a lot, and maybe it's TMI, I'm sorry, but the part of my body that sweat much more than any other one is the head. So when you are sanding the floors and you have the unprotected wood before you, because you're sanding it, you are not interested in having all your sweat falling on it, so because it has marks. And here you have just seen all the work I've done with the manual sander, the beautiful sights that I can enjoy through my windows. And right now I'm starting with the band sander again. And if you have noticed, this one that I'm using right now, it's not the same that I used on the first part of the bedroom, and it's because the one that I bought first and I use it on the first half of the bedroom, it broke. It was the retailer brand, and when I went to the store to tell them, hey guys, I only used it like for 3 hours and it broke down, they told me, yeah, we know, we have like 75% of those returned because we did good, great job. So there is no problem. You can return it and we'll give you the money. So I bought another one. This is another brand. It's pretty good brand considering the price and the usage. So this is what I've been using through the rest of my apartment, and it worked pretty good. And here you can see me using the manual sander again, just in order to make less difference between the places where the band sander went and the manual sander went, so it wouldn't be that obvious the frontier between the two, because as I told you before, obviously the manual sander has much less power than the band sander. The band sander, you have to be very careful in order not to make like huge scratches on your floor. So yeah, you may have a real difference between the places when you use the manual sander and the band sander. Actually, the theory is while sanding the floors, you have to use first P40 grain sand. After that, you have to use P80 grain sand. It's a little bit finer one, and for the last, you have to use P120, I guess, sand, grain sand. And you can ask, what is this crazy woman does? Well, I was stretching because after 3 hours or 4 hours of sanding, everything hurts a lot. So as I was telling you, you have to make like 3 coats of sanding with different grains of sand, and actually with that band sander I only did 1 coat, and I use the finest one, 120, and it was absolutely fine. And I had to use actually P40 with the manual one, which goes right next to the trim and the corners and everything. But yeah, the manual one with one usage of 120 sander is more than enough. And yeah, here you have the contractor making sure that all the work is done is okay and not screwed out or something. He's so funny. And here we begin the next step of the process, which is giving the priming coat. First of all, I protect all the trim, which also will suffer some renovation, of course. And I used a primer which I bought in the same retailer which I bought everything, and it said that it's absolutely necessary to use a primer with some kind of woods, like, I don't know, maybe like oak or something. I don't really remember which ones, but provided that I didn't know which one I really had on my flooring, I decided I will use the primer. It will always be better to use it because it will make the varnish stay much better, and it will maybe save me some varnish actually, but it wasn't the real problem. And here, provided that it was the first experience of using all this kind of stuff, I was very confused about the finishing, because first I tried to use a foam roller and it left I don't know, white bubbling finish, and I wasn't sure at all that it was really supposed to look like that. So I used a brush to apply the primer to my whole flooring in my bedroom. Actually, it worked very, very well, and the finishing was very smooth and nice and all that kind of stuff. So I was really happy with the primer coat, which is you are seeing right now, applying me to the floor. Only after 3 hours of drying of the primer coat, I could already use the varnish. And here I had a lot of doubts, because I tried with the brush, I tried with the foam roller, and both of them left that white, like milk white bubbling finish, and I wasn't sure enough. I wasn't absolutely sure that that was supposed to look like that. So I told myself, well, if the brush doesn't make the good work, I will use the roller, because it's much more easier and much faster to apply. So we'll see how it turns out with all this strange finishing. And also it was like I wasn't sure at all, because at times it seemed that some coats were like thicker than another, and you could see like huge difference between one layers and the other.
considering the amount of the varnish you used. But well, everything was the concerns of the first timer, because I didn't really know how it would end it while dried, and actually it ended perfect. It was gorgeous. The final finishing was absolutely amazing. No difference between layering was shown at all, because all the varnish was like every even, and absolutely gorgeous. I also have to say that I could choose between the three types of finishing: the sparkling one, the glossy, and the matte. And I would personally prefer the glossy one, which is like the middle one between the three. But it wasn't available at that time, so I chose the matte. And I didn't regret at all. This finishing is just gorgeous. It's absolutely perfect. And also, as you could read on the video, I made 2 coats of the varnish on my bedroom, and I also told it before, but I would rather do 3 of them. But well, this is another story.
So, if you've come this far, thank you so much for watching. You are the most generous person in the world in terms of giving me your time. I appreciate it a lot. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If not, if you didn't, it's okay. And I'm sorry there is no very good comparison before in terms of, sorry, I think I have an animal hair in my mouth. So I'm sorry because there is no great footage of the before and the after result. I will do my best with all the editing, but I think I didn't do it very well in terms of recording it. So, and now it's time for a little storytelling. What is wrong with my right eye? And it's not that bad right now. I think it's gonna get very much uglier than it's now. So yeah, for those who are been following me for some time, you know that I have 1 year old 35 kilos German Shepherd puppy. I will still call him puppy even when he is 6 years, I think, the mother thing. So we went for a walk yesterday, late at night. Well, late at night, it wasn't that late, but there was no light, daylight. I mean, it's fall. Fresh news, it's fall finally. And finally it's raining, it's cold. It's not that cold as in Svalbard, for example, but yeah, finally the fall arrived. So provided that I spent the most part of the day out of home, and Logan wasn't with me. He stood at home alone. He is an absolute angel when he's home alone. He has no separation anxiety. He just lays down, just fall asleep, and that's it. No problems at all. But yeah, of course he gets bored. So I thought that I would take him for a walk to a park that we have here, like 2 minutes away from my apartment. Well, it's not really a park. It's like quite huge extension area with grass and a little bit more, and it's kind of naturally closed in, so there is no immediate access to the sidewalk or the road or this kind of stuff. This place is officially labeled by the city hall as a dog park, where they can go 24/7 unleashed. So it's a great place because my poor body, he doesn't have that many opportunities to run, to be unleashed, to make friends, in terms of dog friends, of course. And he needs desperately everything of this. So yeah, we went there. It's been raining during the half part of the day. And you know, there are a couple of things that I think pretty much every dog loves to do, or maybe not every dog, but many of them, and it's digging the holes. Why? I don't know. Are we looking for gold? Are we looking for truffles? Are we looking for, I don't know, coal, fuel? I mean, any of those things would get us out of the poverty, but no, we haven't found anything but rocks and stones. So yeah, this is one of the things that these guys love to do, digging holes. And what happens to the holes when it's raining? They fill with water. So there were a couple of holes with like dirty water, and another couple of them with mud. Just, you know, like it's not even liquid anymore. It's like mud. It's like soil with some of water. So I don't know if every other dogs love it. I think a lot of them do, but I tell you, he adores it. It's digging those holes full of water or mud, and if I don't let him dig, he just lay down in it, just like that. And I'm okay with it. I mean, he's a kid. He needs to have fun. He needs to get dirty. He needs to do things. He needs to run, and yeah. So I have no serious problems with the part when he gets dirt, because he has two coat of fur. So usually when he gets wet or he gets dirty, it's only the outer part of his fur, but not the inside coat and not his skin. So when something like that happens, what happened yesterday is just he lay down in all the holes that he could with his front paws, and well, he was like like here with the doors. And when we came home, I got him to the bathtub and just, you know, rinsing him with a little bit of warm water makes all the soil, all the dirt go away. It doesn't make him wet to the bones. So after that, I don't even use the shampoo, because it wasn't his regular bath. It's we are a couple of weeks away from that still. So yeah, I just rinse him with some warm water. After that, I dry him with the towel, and if that wouldn't be enough, that yesterday he was a little bit more wet than usually, I use my hair dryer, like with no heat at all, or just practically no heat, in order to not harm his skin, and everything is okay. So that's what we were doing. And but yeah, he was a little bit rebel yesterday because he was bored for the huge part of the day. He he was a little bit rebel because it was his way to show me that he wasn't happy because I was away for the whole day. And he was a little bit, he didn't want to get into the bath, which usually it's not a problem. Usually, sometimes he even gets into the bath when he is not supposed to, and it's like, buddy, would you mind to go out right now? It's me who's having a shower. Yeah, we have no privacy, one from the other. Well, this is what happens in this relationship. So he didn't want to get into the bathtub. When he got into it, he was moving the whole time like, don't touch my paws, don't touch my butt, don't touch my back. Well, he's not talking. This is what was sounding in my head, but he was behaving like that. He was like, I don't want you to do anything of this. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. And he was moving like so, a little bit hectically, and I was inclined above him in order to be able to rinse him with water on the both sides of him. And so, because I didn't get into the bathtub with him, and in one of that moments that he was showing me how unhappy he was, he made some movement with his head, like a boom, and it happened that my eye was on the exact way of his head moving, and yeah, he hit me hard with his jaws right here in the eye. So it hurted pretty much, but well, I mean, I have a pretty big pain tolerance, so it was okay. I preferred to continue doing my stuff to end with all the rinsing, cleaning, drying stuff. And so, and when he was all fresh and done and dry, I looked at myself in the mirror. I don't have a lot of mirrors at home, and suddenly I saw like my whole eye full of blood. And I was like, wow. Actually, you can see the picture on my Instagram account. And I was like, oh my God, I think it's a little bit more serious than I thought it would be. And well, I clean it with some warm water, and then I clean it with the how do you call it, betadine? I have no idea, sorry. I would need to, something that cures and kills all the bacteria, because of course he's a dog and I have a lot of his bacteria already tolerated, but it's, you know, it's my eyebrow opened and it's bleeding, so I had to take care of it. And yeah, I sent the picture to my family, and I was like, there is no way I'm going to emergency room right now, because I probably would need like stitch and a half or maybe 2 stitches because the wound is open. I wasn't bleeding anymore, which was good. Actually, if he hit me like half an inch, 1 centimeter up higher, he would hit me in my eyebrow, and we all know how much the eyebrows bleed. They bleed a lot, and you always have to get stitches, although you need only one of them because it's something like ridiculous wound that you have there. But fortunately, he didn't hit me in the eye, so it was like it would be half an inch or a centimeter down from my actual wound, and he would probably made me something more serious damage. So I would probably, in the other 2 options, end up in the emergency room anyway. And it was Saturday night. I just got back from my brother's birthday party. I took some glasses of wine. I was okay to take a car, but it was like, there is no way I'm going to emergency room, because Saturday night, emergency room, seriously, you can spend there the whole night, because it's where all the injured people who go out for the Saturday night drinks or whatever, cars accident. So yeah, I was like, no, I'm not bleeding, so I'm not going there. I'm gonna put don't have no idea how to call it. So I'm not bleeding, and if it stays a little bit more opened, rather than I would have some stitches, well, I have a scar in my eye. It's a little bit swollen right now. I will probably have a pretty beautiful bruise. And my birthday is close, very close to now. I don't care. I mean, if I have to take my birthday picture with a pirate patch on my eye or a enormous bruise, it's okay. I'm not that fancy. So yeah, this is this is the story. Probably it's more longer than interesting, but yeah, I just wanted to share it with you. And again, if you've come this far, thank you so much for watching. You are an angel, and you are very generous with your time, giving it to me and spending it with me and with my rambling stories. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey monster, I have to tell them about my eye, because it's pretty obvious what is wrong with it. Are you okay with that? I told them it wasn't your fault. You didn't want to do it. It was an accident. You know?